You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days fans, it has been a pretty rough month for Xander Cook. He's been framed by Clyde Weston for Harris Michael's shooting, and some fans are asking, why is the jailbird targeting his ex-co-conspirator? This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to chat about that. But first, please click subscribe if you haven't yet. So Xander really doesn't know just how bad things are going for him right now, because Xander's got no idea that he's really Victor Kiriakis' secret son, and that Theresa Donovan cheated him out of his legacy, his fortune, his place at the family business, and his role as Victor's heir. But, you know, they say what you don't know can't hurt you. And in that regard, Xander has been cheated by Theresa, but he doesn't know it, so he's not upset about it yet. But what he is upset about is being framed by skeevy Clyde Weston. I don't know how Stefan DiMera got into Sarah and Xander's apartment, but it definitely looks like he went straight from shooting Harris, hightailed it over to Xander and Sarah's place, and while they were getting slippery in the shower together, he crept in and hid the gun that he used to shoot the detective. And right now, Harris is saying that he can't remember the shooter, but he might be lying. Maybe it's one of those post-trauma things where you can't remember and his memory comes back, or he's fibbing for a reason. You know, Harris and Ava Vitale have this secret thing going on where she told him everything about Clyde and why she was cooperating with the drug operation. So Harris may recall that it was Stefan, but he's not going to reveal it to Rafe Hernandez because, you know, he's still trying to protect Ava, even if that means risking his life. Or it just could be that his memories haven't come back yet. I'm confident one way or another he will remember. On Thursday, Clyde was back on the phone with Stefan and demanding that he finish the job and take out Harris once and for all. That's why by Friday, March 1st, Stefan has a syringe, a doctor's coat, a mask to hide his face, and a load of bad intentions when he heads back to University Hospital. I just wonder if Harris might play possum, pretend to be asleep, and then give Stefan a beat down when he comes trying to kill him. That could be fun. I don't think Harris is going to die, and I don't think Stefan's going to be busted quite yet. We'll see. But there is stuff about Stefan and EJ next week that has me thinking he's in deep, deep doo-doo. But the larger question that I want to talk about is, why is Clyde Weston using Xander Cook as this scapegoat? Why is he setting him up? If you're newer to Days or maybe just forgot the plot, Xander and Clyde were kind of old prison buddies, or, you know, at least, you know, congenial criminals spending time together behind bars. Xander, if you don't remember, was in prison on false charges. Theresa had accused him of rape, but he didn't do it. So he was locked up at the same time as Clyde and Milo Harp, aka Orpheus. And all three of them broke out together. That was back in 2016. So it's been a minute, like 7.5 years ago. And all three had murder and malice in their hearts, with big plans to blow up Salem. Back then, Orpheus was the brains of the operation, Xander was the muscle, and Clyde was the twisted bastard enjoying it all and trying to make it even more toxic. So what changed? And why has Clyde turned on his former partner in crime? Well, if you recall, Clyde actually turned on him in the past, but over a totally different situation. He had a different motive the last time Clyde tried to set Xander up for a murder charge. That was about Jordan Ridgway, Clyde's stepdaughter. She was murdered, and Clyde was certain that Xander had done it, but he did not. So Clyde kidnapped Sarah's baby Mickey, who was really little Rachel Black, and held her hostage until Xander confessed to killing Jordan. And in fact, he did confess, but only to save Mickey, because he didn't do that crime. It came out later that it was Orpheus's son, Evan Frears, that killed Jordan, and he was also the father of her little baby. So Clyde knows Xander didn't kill Jordan because the truth finally came out. So why this grudge out of nowhere? I suspect it could have something to do with the fact that Clyde thinks that he and Xander are the same level of criminality, but Xander's free as a bird, living his best life. And Clyde is stuck in Statesville, dealing drugs, but with no personal freedoms like Xander has, no quality of life, really. Xander actually has a really good life right now. He's running the Spectator Spectator with Chad DiMera. He's got a baby. He's got Sarah in his bed and in his heart. And Clyde has got a whole lot of nothing but dirty drug money, prison denim, and a whole lot of time to think about the ongoing error of his ways. I think in the end, it comes down to jealousy. Clyde may think Xander deserves to be behind bars like he is, and this setup he thinks will make it happen. Realistically, Clyde is serving life in prison for murdering Abby DiMera, among other crimes. If anything, the Salem police, knowing he orchestrated the murder or attempted murder of Harris, maybe could flip him from life in prison to death row, But realistically, his life's kind of over in terms of prison, so why frame somebody else for your deeds? But maybe it was Stefan DiMera's idea to blame Xander Cook. He's got a motive of his own and a grudge against Xander. Years ago, Xander was working for Kristen DiMera, and they framed Stefan for kidnapping Kate Roberts and Ted Laurent. And that got Stefan fired from DiMera, and he might be still holding a grudge about that. So whether it's Stefan targeting Xander for takedown or if it's Clyde, they both have their own motives from the past to take aim at Xander. But they also have another reason to target him. Remember, Clyde targeted Chad DiMera for publishing about the drug ring, and he had the house burned down, the Horton house where Chad lives with his kids. He was trying to kill them all. And remember, Stefan tried to shut Chad down and demanded that the Spectator stop publishing stories on the Salem drug crisis. Chad initially agreed, but when Everett protested, saying that's not journalistic integrity, Chad reversed his opinion. And Xander, of course, is Chad's Spectator co-owner, so he's part of the media outlet that shone a light on Clyde's drug operation. Or, maybe it's a simple matter of just thinking he's a good scapegoat because of his criminal past. People will believe that Xander has done whatever he's accused of just because in the past he's done so many bad things. Hopefully, Harris Michaels already remembered that Stefan is the shooter, or he will soon, and that means Xander should be off the hook despite their attempts to frame him. The big question for me is, how will they deal with this Clyde Weston threat? It seems like they need to find a permanent solution for that scumbag. Although, if they killed Clyde off or sent him to a Supermax prison where he can't keep doing crime, I would certainly miss seeing James Reed. But we need our Dandy Xandy free to keep living his best life with Sarah. What do you think? Will Xander be off the hook soon because the frame job won't hold up? Drop your comments. Please click subscribe if you haven't, and come back soon. We are here talking Days of Our Lives 7 days a week. And as always, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.